Pierwsze miejsce, jak najlepsze, to są najlepsze miejsce na mecz. Poprowadź, bo ja nie będę.
Check one. Mic check one. Check. Captioning mic test. Captioning test. Captioning test. Welcome to the 2016 Doctoral Hooding Ceremony at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Saturday, May 7th, 2016. Mic check. Mic check. Stay connected with Carolina at UNC and at UNC Grad School.
Facebook.com/UNC-Chapel Hill. UNC-Chapel Hill on Instagram. Mic check. Doctoral Hooding Ceremony. Mic check. Check one. Check one. Check, check, check. How are they not hearing us? Captioning mic check. Captioning mic check. Check. Welcome to the 2016 Doctoral Hooding Ceremony at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Saturday, May 7th, 2016, presented by the Graduate School. This is a mic check for the caption systems. Mic check for the caption systems. Our ceremony will begin in approximately 1 hour. Stay connected with Carolina at UNC and at UNC Grad School on Twitter, Facebook.com/UNC-Chapel Hill, UNC-Chapel Hill on Instagram, and on Snapchat. Doctoral degree graduates may receive their diplomas in a special departmental or school ceremony, or they may pick up their diploma from the Office of the Registrar in the Student Academic Services Building North from 11:30 until 2 on Commencement Sunday. Remaining diplomas will be available in the Office of the Registrar through May 31st, after which time they will be mailed to each graduate's home address as listed in Connect, Carolina. Mic check, 2016 Doctoral Hooding Ceremony at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Saturday, May 7th, 2016.
Check. Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
Really? So this isn't, is this not a common thing? Is what do you think? I've only seen it here. Missed opportunity.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2016 Hooding Ceremony for doctoral candidates at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Woo! Our hearts are pounding with the beauty and majesty of that grand entry, so we're so happy to be with you. Leading us this morning in the national anthem is Drew Meyer. He's a senior and a music and drama major and will be graduating himself tomorrow.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. We're here today to honor the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy, the Academy's highest degree. Graduates, your degree signifies not only your mastery of your field, but the individual discoveries and contributions that you've made to advance your field beyond where it was before. Neil deGrasse Tyson, famed astronomer, once said, "I'm driven by two philosophies: know more today than the world knew yesterday, and lessen the suffering of others." You'd be surprised how far that gets you. I'm looking out at hundreds of graduates who not only appreciate but embody this wonderful philosophy. One of my favorite aspects of the doctoral hooding ceremony is that it brings graduates and their faculty mentors together. And by doing this, it honors those very special bonds and the collaborative learning relationships that all scholars know and depend upon to do their finest work. It's my great privilege to be with all of you today as we celebrate a very important event, as together we mark your rigorous and your all deeply personal journeys. Your discoveries make this university very strong, and they fuel the future across the breadth of all human endeavors. I was thinking as you walked down the steps that I was looking at the face of Carolina's research. That's nearly $1 billion of enterprise, of impacts in every discipline. It's also responsible for the report that just came out that said that this university provides about a $7 billion economic impact and more than 100,000 jobs just in the state of North Carolina alone every year. You are the faces and the hearts and the minds of that great enterprise, and our students are at the center of all that. We all know that fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship is critical for this great university, and it's also critical to the future of our nation and the world, and it's a future that's going to be written by all of you. When I completed my own PhD, I didn't have a hooding ceremony. My completion was actually walking over to the administration building at the University of California at Davis by myself, dropping off my dissertation to someone who was sitting at the entry desk, who literally took out a ruler to check to see if I had the margins right. I had my margins right, I passed, and that was it. I was finished. But you know, as I walked across the campus that day, I was actually going back to my car that was all packed and ready for me to take my journey back across country to Michigan, where I was starting my postdoc. I remember feeling an incredible sense of freshness. You know, I can almost feel that I can recall the smell of the trees and the dappling of the light on the pathway as I walked back, because it was such an important moment. It meant so much. And especially it was for me another time of a new beginning. And it's another new beginning for all of you as well. I know now that our lives, our research, every one of our paths has the chance to feel that freshness of a new beginning every day. At a dedication just a couple of weeks ago at the Davis Library's Be Inspired exhibit, Nobel laureate Oliver Smithies described one of the secrets to the feeling of freshness in a life well lived. And he said he'd never worked a day in his life because he loved what he did. And Nobel laureate Aziz Sancar offered his own recipe. He said, build and honor the team who works with you. Live your passion and respect and be grateful to your community. Those are two very powerful lessons from two very wonderful people that I think you'll all remember as you begin your own fresh path forward. So now we'll proceed with this very special day. And joining us on stage today are a number of very important people to the university and to you. First, I'm pleased to introduce the chair of the Board of Trustees of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Dwight Stone. Mr. Stone will bring greetings to you from the Board of Trustees.
It is an honor to address you this morning. On behalf of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's Board of Trustees, I offer our congratulations on your achievements and best wishes for your future success. Thank you for the contributions you've made to the university's research, teaching, and public service mission during your time here. You have created new knowledge that benefits people and affects lives across North Carolina and beyond. You have also made lasting contributions through your enthusiastic and creative teaching that have helped strengthen our campus community. Carolina's commitment to academic excellence and serving the public good most likely helped you to decide to come to Chapel Hill. We appreciate all that you've done to make positive contributions to the collaborative culture that helps make our academic community here so special. Please always remember what you have learned at from our magnificent faculty and from each other. You can change the world and truly make a difference in the everyday lives of others. That's what we do here at Carolina. And remember, as you venture out into the world, get comfortable being uncomfortable. You will always have our support, and we believe in you and your future. Again, congratulations on a tremendous academic achievement. We're proud of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce other members of the platform party, and we'll applaud them all at the end. Starting with Joe Farrell, Albert Coates Professor Emeritus and Secretary of the Faculty. In addition to his long and distinguished career in the School of Government, he served for 20 years as the Secretary of the Faculty, a true Tar Heel. Bruce, go ahead, that's okay. Bruce Cairns, the John Stackhouse Distinguished Professor of Surgery and Chair of the Faculty. Marcia Collins, Professor of English and Royster Professor of Graduate Education. Christopher Derrickson, University Registrar. And James Dean, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost. It's now my pleasure to introduce Steve Mattson, Dean of the Graduate School.
Good morning. For close to 150 years, the University of North Carolina has been engaged in graduate training, preparing our future scientists, teachers, healthcare professionals, business leaders, and public servants. Your work here has advanced the university's mission in research, teaching, and service. Now, as our future leaders, we're counting on you to continue that work, to take on the challenges we face as a society and to succeed. Whether your goal is to conduct groundbreaking research, to teach, or to provide earnest public service, we know you will share with others what you've learned here. As you go out into the world, carry Carolina's standard of excellence with you. I would like to recognize the many diverse disciplines represented in this ceremony today. The Graduate School oversees more than 80 programs with significant depth and breadth in the doctoral and master's degrees we offer, from American Studies to psychology, from biochemistry to public policy. Today, graduates and faculty from these diverse disciplines come together to share in the joy and pride of the doctoral degree being conferred on this group of scholars. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Dylan Russell, President of the Graduate and Professional Student Federation at Carolina.
It is my honor to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Samantha Joye. Dr. Joye is the Georgia Athletic Association Professor in Arts and Sciences in the University of Georgia's Marine Sciences Department. She holds 3 degrees from UNC-Chapel Hill, her bachelor's degree in biology and her master's and doctoral degrees in marine sciences. Dr. Joye has conducted crucial research into the impact of oil and gas seepage within deep ocean environments. She spent 20 years studying the Gulf of Mexico, and her work has taken her twice to the site of the 2010 Deepwater Horizon platform blowout, during which an estimated 206 million gallons of oil spilled into the sea. On those expeditions in 2010 and 2014, she traveled to the sea floor in a submarine to observe the impact of the oil discharge. Dr. Joye has received the Distinguished Service Award for Education and Outreach from the U.S. Department of the Interior and was elected a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, among other honors. We are so pleased that Dr. Samantha Joye will give the keynote address at our ceremony this morning. So please give a Carolina welcome to Dr. Joye.
Good morning. Thank you, Dylan, and thank you, Dean Mattson, for inviting me to speak today. Good morning, all you graduates. I remember when I was sitting in your seat. It was an amazing experience this day, and I hope that I can help your day be special. I'm thrilled to be here with you to honor and celebrate your achievements as you complete this chapter of your life and move on to the next. It's wonderful for me to be back home, back in Chapel Hill, where I spent the most formative years of my life, learning, having fun, making memories and friends, and challenging myself to grow and become a better person and to learn something new each and every day. During my time as a student at Carolina, I developed many of the foundational principles that have guided me in my life, both personally and professionally. My journey along the road to self-discovery and intellectual discovery began here, and it's never stopped. I wish the same for all of you. Today, I'll share with you some thoughts and stories about my journey. I'm going to focus these stories around 5 words that mean a lot to me, and I hope that by the end of the talk I give, they'll mean a lot to you. I hope these stories resonate with you and perhaps help you navigate the journey about which you are going to embark. Gratitude. When I was sitting in your seat, I could barely contain my excitement. All the hard work, the long hours, the frustration, the tears, the doubts that I could do it, all those things swirl through my mind as I tried to take in every aspect, every emotion of this day. Feelings of wonder and thoughts of what the future had in store for me filled my mind. But I was ready to go, and I was fired up. Like you, I was also very nostalgic and very grateful. Grateful to my friends and my family for supporting me and trusting me that I'd made the right decision. That decision was to get a PhD instead of an MD, which my mother still regrets sometimes. But I knew that being an oceanographer and an educator was what I was meant to do, and I believed that I had the grit and the fortitude necessary to be successful at it. I was ready, and I was also extremely grateful to the University of North Carolina for all that Carolina gave to me. Phenomenal faculty mentors, amazing experiences, many moments of self-discovery, and incredible academic compatriots who made the journey with me, most of whom I'm still close to today because we did something amazing together. The institution and the people made my time at Carolina truly life-changing. I'm sure you all feel the same way. Carolina is still always on my mind. A few years ago, a reporter from the University of Georgia newspaper, The Red and Black, wrote a piece on me and entitled it Blue Blood. I thought that was the perfect title for an article on my work, because some people who read it thought that the title referred to my love for the oceans, but a lot of you out there know that my blood runs blue for 2 reasons. This incredible institution instilled in me a passion to excel and a passion for learning that has only grown stronger with time. My tenure here helped form and confirm my character, and it gave me the toughness that I needed to succeed. It prepared me to face adversity and to overcome it. I could not have received a better education anywhere else in the world, and neither could any of you. For that, be excited and be grateful. The University of North Carolina will always be a part of you, and you will always be a part of the Carolina family. Imagination. I grew up in a speck of a town on a small farm that straddled the North and South Carolina borders. I was a small town kid with a small town personality. Frankly, I was afraid of my own shadow, and I was very uncomfortable in my own skin. But I had big dreams. I came here to Chapel Hill to reinvent myself. Shy no more and filled with enthusiasm, I began to trek along a path that would allow me to discover myself and to pursue my dreams. During my time here, I realized that our imaginations, our creativity, they're power functions. For everything you learn, many things you don't know are revealed to you, leading to new questions, development of new tools and research techniques, and to new research paths. Learning is, in essence, a positive feedback loop that self-perpetuates itself. It's an incredible thing. It's addictive, and it's empowering. When I was a kid, my mother used to joke that one day I really would have to stop asking why. She also told me that at some point I would have to stop playing in the mud. Sometimes I suspect my mom feels I became a scientist to prove her wrong. She finds it quite funny these days that I'm actually paid to ask why. And what's more, to dive in submersibles, to go down to the bottom of the ocean to do what? Collect mud. I'm still playing in the mud today, and I love it. And I can't imagine that, 25 years ago when I first started here, that I would still be doing the things that I love today. So don't stop imagining, don't stop dreaming, and don't ever stop thinking outside the box. These are the things that will propel you forward and advance you in your life. They'll also provide you with an immense amount of joy and satisfaction. Resilience. There is no set destination in life, and occasionally, if not often, you'll have a curveball thrown your way. Your reaction to those curveballs, the decisions you make when you reach a fork in the road, how you respond to adversity, these trials enable you to grow and will further develop and mature your character. The decisions you make while staring squarely in the face of adversity will empower you later as you move forward. So don't waver, trust in yourself, and when adversity strikes, know that you'll bounce back, because you will. Reflect, learn, be resilient. Believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, and loving yourself are the most important things you must do to thrive as you flow through life. Along the same lines, live your life. Don't be a spectator, because life is too short and every day is precious. Embrace it and enjoy it. Give something back every day. Smile, always smile, even when you're down, because smiles are contagious and they come back at you. Talk to a stranger. Hold out your hand and lift somebody else up. Buy someone you don't know a cup of coffee or a muffin, because the smiles and happiness your actions generate in others will enlighten and fulfill your soul more than any amount of money or material goods ever could. Courage. There'll be times in your life when you're faced with a very difficult choice or situation. You'll be uncomfortable, even afraid, and your instinct might well be to duck and run. You have to think hard in such situations and decide whether you're going to be a bystander or whether you're going to engage. And when you decide to engage, you do so at 110%. A few years ago, I was an academic responder to the Deepwater Horizon oil well blowout in the Gulf of Mexico. Some of our findings were controversial. Well, who am I kidding? All of our findings were controversial, but they had very important response implications. So I had to muster every ounce of courage in my body to stand up and speak the truth loudly and firmly, and to stand by it. A lot of people doubted our findings, and they questioned my motives and integrity. Some people said I went public to get media attention. I found that quite funny, because those people didn't know me at all. I'm actually an introvert. I don't like the spotlight, and being in the middle of a heated debate during a national emergency made me uncomfortable and nervous, to say the least. But I knew that communicating our results was critically important, and I knew that our findings would change the course of the way people responded to this oil spill. Our discoveries had serious implications for understanding the fate of oil and gas and its distribution in the ecosystem, so I had to speak out. In subsequent years, history proved us right. Our findings were confirmed by many others, as I knew they would be. I never would have spoken out if I had an iota of doubt in my mind. I didn't. But more importantly, speaking out was the right thing to do, and I had to stand up, and I had to do it. Dr. Martin Luther King once said, "Never, never be afraid to do what is right. Society's punishments are small compared to the wound we inflict on our soul by looking the other way." For years, I've kept those words on a Post-it note on my computer monitor. And especially in 2010, those words calmed my spirit, they reassured me, and they gave me resolve to do the right thing. The courage to do the right thing. And in standing up and speaking out, I learned that one person speaking the truth, unwavering and determined, can make a difference, a big difference. One voice echoes, and the echoes in turn, they multiply. One voice can change the course of an event's history, and one experience can alter the course of your life. During the Gulf oil disaster, I realized that my voice rang true, and my message about caring for our oceans resonated with people. People listened, they asked questions, and they wanted to know more. I'm often asked why I spoke out, and I always respond that I did so because it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. The Gulf ecosystem has taught me so much, I had to stand up for it and give something back. The Gulf of Mexico doesn't have a voice, so I lent her mine. During that time, I decided to use my voice to be an outspoken advocate for the oceans and the environment. I speak for those things that don't have a voice, but which are so vital to sustain all of us and our children and our children's children. I do this to make a difference, to make the world a better place. I use my voice to advocate for the environment and for our oceans. I challenge each of you to find your voice and to identify your true passion. Use your voice and your passion to make a difference in this world. Become a leader. Make your own path and march steadily ahead. Each one of you has the potential to do something spectacular. One of you may discover the cure for cancer. One of you may develop a green energy technology that helps us clean up this world of ours that is currently in peril due to the multiple stressors that we've imparted on our amazing planet. But you don't have to invent anything to make a difference. Any one of you sitting out there, any one of you can make a difference by inspiring others to make the world a better place. So please, don't take that opportunity, that gift, for granted. Embrace it and act upon it. The University of North Carolina produces people of incredible character who become leaders. Many of you will move into leadership roles. Don't be afraid to lead. And when you do so with empathy, compassion, inclusivity, and vision. And if you don't want to lead, that's okay too. But be an engaged and informed citizen. We all need to give back because not a single one of us reached this point without a lot of help along the way. Reciprocity. This word means a lot to me, and it's become even more important to me as I've moved through my life. Today, we live in a challenging and changing time. Some days I listen to the news, and it really feels like the world has been turned inside out and pulled all around. One of the biggest problems that I see is that our culture defines success in terms of money and material possessions. This has led far too many people to become completely disconnected from the one fundamental thing that sustains us all, the earth and her oceans. I'd like everybody out there to do something strange for me, and that is to take 2 deep breaths, very deep breaths. Everybody. Deep breaths. You can thank the plants on land for the oxygen in that first breath, and you can thank the phytoplankton in the oceans for the oxygen in that second breath. It is an undeniable fact that healthy earth and oceans are necessary to sustain us. They are, in fact, our life support system. Everyone needs to recognize this vital connection and do everything in their power to sustain it. A wise Native American once said, "We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children." We must make the earth and ocean systems healthy again so that our grandchildren can swim with whales, dive on a coral reef, hike up a glacier, walk through a rainforest, or go on safari in Africa and see elephants, rhinos, and big cats in their natural habitat. It's our responsibility to preserve the environment for the future. We also need to start giving back and taking care of each other. Jacques Cousteau, who was, of course, one of my childhood heroes, said, "People protect what they love. Love each other. Love the environment. Love the oceans. Support each other. And protect the environment. Set an example for your friends as someone who is deeply, deeply committed to giving back any way you can. Time, effort, imagination, energy, donations to fund nonprofits who are fighting the good fight. Just do it. Become engaged in your community. Volunteer at a soup kitchen. Help the homeless. Spend time with underprivileged or special needs children and the elderly. Share your heart with others, and you'll discover the true depth of your humanity. Become engaged in the movements for clean energy, global sustainability, and resilience, both on land and in the sea. Above all else, be compassionate. Use your voice to speak up and support those who cannot speak for themselves, or for others who are disparaged for not being good enough. If necessary, walk someone to the bathroom so that they feel safe. No one deserves to be discriminated against, and we, human beings, we're better than that. The University of North Carolina and the Carolina family ties tens of thousands of us across decades. We're big enough and strong enough to set standards that others will aspire to, and to defeat any obstacles that are put in our collective path. We will be those candles that illuminate the darkness and drive positive change in this state, in this country, and in the world. This day marks the beginning of your biggest journey. Where you end up and what you do along the way will define your global being and consciousness. Be remarkable. Use your voice. As you leave here today, ask yourself a couple of questions. What will be my role in bettering the world? How will I make a difference? What will I be remembered for? Make your life about relationships, not things. Touch people. Drive change. Make a difference. Be someone who illuminates the darkness and whose light demarcates a powerful, positive path towards a world of compassion, inclusion, joy, success, and sustainability. Thank you. Congratulations to all the graduates, and for all of you moms out there, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Dr. Joye. Now I ask the first row of candidates for doctoral degrees to come forward, as directed by the graduate marshals. As we prepare to recognize our graduates, I would like to take just a moment to explain the significance of the commencement hood. The hooding ceremony is derived from medieval traditions dating back to the 12th and 13th centuries when universities were taking form and were under the jurisdiction of the church. Those studying wore a habit or cloak to which was attached a cowl or a hood. The hood seems to have had three uses: a covering, a shoulder cape, and a bag for collecting alms. Many of us have heard a story, whether or not true, of the small cup formed by the folds of cloth at the back of the hood being used as a receptacle for coins offered by grateful students after a particularly inspiring lecture by their teacher. The colors in the hood symbolize school and broad discipline, as explained in your program. The presentation of the hood by the student's mentor symbolizes the welcoming of a graduate as a full-fledged member in the community of scholars. As I call the name of each doctoral candidate and his or her advisor, I ask that the student and advisor proceed onto the stage. At this point, the advisor and provost dean will ceremoniously place the hood on the student. The student and advisor will then proceed to the farthest end of the stage to receive congratulations from Chancellor Folt. If the student's advisor is not present, Provost Dean and Royster Professor Marcia Collins will present the hood to the student. I want to call to your attention those students who are wearing gold cords. These students are members of the Royster Society of Fellows, the graduate school's most prestigious graduate fellowship program. There is a professional photographer at the foot of the stage who will be taking photos of each graduate. We encourage family and friends to take photos after the ceremony is completed. Danielle Furchie Braxton, nutrition, being hooded by Carmen Samuel Hodge. Tosha Woods Smith, nutrition, being hooded by Alice Ammerman. Beth Ann Hopping, nutrition, being hooded by Alice Ammerman. Lyndon Maya Thayer, nutrition, being hooded by Alice Ammerman. Andra Wilkinson, maternal and child health, being hooded by Carolyn Halpern. Erin Kathleen Marr, musicology, being hooded by Annegret Fauser. Krista Ann Bentley, musicology, being hooded by Jocelyn Neal. Joanna Marie Goman, art history, being hooded by Mary Sheriff. Catherine Elise Rice, Art History, being hooded by Mary C. Sturgeon. Erin Renee Corrales Diaz, Art History, being hooded by Bernard Herman. Adam McCune, being hooded by Lori Langbauer, English. Li Zhang, Material Science, being hooded by Otto Zhou. David Vincent Stark, Physics and Astronomy, being hooded by Sheila Knappen. Suzanne Brown Daly, Nursing, being hooded by Barbara Mark. Daryl Bethea, Computer Science, being hooded by the Provost. Vida Yao, Philosophy, being hooded by Susan Wolfe. Kevin Anthony Maselli, Business Administration, being hooded by Atul Nakar. Ji Wong, Business Administration, being hooded by Adam Mercerow. Anna M. Jalowska, Marine Sciences, being hooded by Brent McKee. Jinghang Lau, Physics and Astronomy, being hooded by Alfred Kleinheims. Ashley Gaskin-Wasson, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Enrique Neblet. Kara Ross Demanio, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Gabriel Dichter. Sayara Khan, Epidemiology, being hooded by Jeanette Benson. Allison Elizabeth Lagari, Education, being hooded by George Noblet. Summer Melody Pennell, Education, being hooded by George Noblet. Hillary Elise Parkhouse, Education, being hooded by George Noblet. Corey James Flynn, Chemistry, being hooded by James Cahoon. Melanie Denise Napier, Epidemiology, being hooded by Timothy Wade. Jesse Montana Kane, Education, being hooded by Gregory Sizik. Charna Dardian, Education, being hooded by Jocelyn Glazier. Jeannie Dykes Bissonette, Education, being hooded by Jocelyn Glazier. Tojan Basam Rahal, Pharmaceutical Sciences, being hooded by Chris Luft. Chintan Harisbhai Kasbadia, Pharmaceutical Sciences, being hooded by Chris Luft. Ashley Rachel Johnson, Biomedical Engineering, being hooded by Chris Luft. Stephanie C. Page, Biochemistry and Biophysics, being hooded by Robert Bourret. Chifundo Coletta Zimba, Nursing, being hooded by Jennifer Lehman. Jinbing Bai, Nursing, being hooded by Sheila Santa Croce. Daniel Bowman, Geological Sciences, being hooded by Jonathan Lees. Mehir Rohit Judakonda, Biomedical Engineering, being hooded by David Lelouch. Chris M. Foster, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Kelly Giovanello. Jackie Engyung Relye, Education, being hooded by Jill Fitzgerald. Melody Kung, Education, being hooded by Jill Fitzgerald. Vanessa Victoria Volpe, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Jean-Louise Garipe. Ashley C. Littleton, Human Movement Science, being hooded by Kevin Guskowitz. Rebecca K. Young Yao, Epidemiology, being hooded by Steve Marshall. Laura Nicole Ann Hardor Morano, Epidemiology, being hooded by Steve Marshall. Kristen Renee Moore, Epidemiology, being hooded by Jennifer Smith. Sabrina Zadronsny, Epidemiology, being hooded by Daniel Westrish. Ruth Link Gellis, Epidemiology, being hooded by Daniel Westrish. Rebecca Lee Payne Jordan, Education, being hooded by Harriet Abel and Lynn Vernon Fegans. Carlos Rafael Melendez Roman, Education, being hooded by William Ware. Patrick Sokuke Kimes, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by J.S. Marin. Haojin Zhai, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by J.S. Marin. Guan Yu, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by J.S. Marin. Ching Feng, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by J.S. Marin and Jan Hanning. Wen Jenny Shi, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by Jan Hanning. Liang Yin, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by Xu Lu. Brian L. Pohl, Physics and Astronomy, being hooded by Bruce Carney. Ada Mohammed Al-Kanabit, Epidemiology, being hooded by William Miller. Emily Rose Smith, Epidemiology, being hooded by William Miller. William Mahak Miller, Epidemiology, being hooded by William Miller. Kapua Eola Kalakanai Gellert, Epidemiology, being hooded by Christy Avery. Amanda Ann Sirely, Epidemiology, being hooded by Christy Avery. Kelly Will Shepard, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Carol L. Cheatham. Li Cheng Chen Yin, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by Xuanshu Ji. Yu Ying Ji, Statistics and Operations Research, being hooded by William Valdar. John Allen Hager, Microbiology and Immunology, being hooded by the Provost. Jamila Faye Dallas, English, being hooded by Minrose Gwynn and Shane Lagasse. Sarah Bingham Jones, Epidemiology, being hooded by Wayne Rosamond. Corey Andrew Calbaugh, Epidemiology, being hooded by Anna Kuskarka Newton. Danielle Denise Durham, Epidemiology, being hooded by Andrew Olshan. Angela Lou Mazul, Epidemiology, being hooded by Andrew Olshan. Megan Lynn Blair, English, being hooded by Beverly Taylor. Benjamin Joshua Doty, English, being hooded by Jane Threlkel. Vera Rosamond Foley, English, being hooded by Jessica Wolf. Kevin Michael Chauvinek, English, being hooded by Reed Barber. Paul Joseph Stapleton, Comparative Literature, being hooded by Jessica Wolf. Vaughn Stewart, English, being hooded by Jessica Wolf. Jonathan Vernon Todd, Epidemiology, being hooded by Jennifer Lund. Mugda Neetan Gokali, Epidemiology, being hooded by Till Sturmer. Mona Chai, Epidemiology, being hooded by M. Allen Brookhart. And Lian Zheng, Computer Science, being hooded by Jan Michael Fram. Jared Scott Hindley, Computer Science, being hooded by Jan Michael Fram. Mohammed Hadi Kaipur, Computer Science, being hooded by Tamara Berg. Zhufeng Han, Computer Science, being hooded by Alexander Berg. Mark Potemkin, Microbiology and Immunology, being hooded by Ron Swanstrom. Kira Caitlin Bradford, Chemistry, being hooded by Dorothy Erie. Caitlin Marie McMahon, Chemistry, being hooded by Eric Alexanian. Fangshu O, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jianwen Chai. Andy Nee, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jianwen Chai. Yu Deng, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jianwen Kai, Dongling Zheng. Hengri Sun, Biostatistics, being hooded by Sonia Davis. Tomas Galarita Cervera, Anthropology, being hooded by Patricia McEnany. Mary Elizabeth Fitz, Anthropology, being hooded by Margaret Scarry. Aaron Leigh Stevens Nelson, Anthropology, being hooded by Vin Stepanidis. Lindsay Carolyn Block, Anthropology, being hooded by Anna S. Agby Davies. Amelia Morell Fisk, Anthropology, being hooded by Margaret Weiner. William H. Westermeyer, Anthropology, being hooded by Dorothy C. Holland. Vincent Nicholas Truce, Anthropology, being hooded by Rudy Colorado Mansfield. Yangyab Choi, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jason P. Fine. Yunro Chung, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jason P. Fine. Jonathan O'Brien, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jason P. Fine. Hojin Yang, Biostatistics, being hooded by Jason P. Fine. Jabulani Rani Nakayana, Epidemiology, being hooded by Charles Vanderhorst. Stephanie McConville, School Psychology, being hooded by Rune Simeonson. Melissa Rose Cox Parnell, School Psychology, being hooded by Rune Simeonson. Sheena Roxanne Berry, School Psychology, being hooded by Barbara Wasik. Christine Pabrocki, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Don Baucom. Philip Howard, Business Administration, being hooded by Max Croce. Sun Jin Han, Business Administration, being hooded by Max Croce. Brooke Aaron Magnus, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by David Thyssen. Sierra Allegra Bainter, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by David Thyssen. Catherine Carey Adair, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Barbara L. Fredrickson. Elise Lynn Rice, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Barbara Fredrickson. Stella with you. Deborah Ann Royals, Communication Studies, being hooded by Lawrence Grossberg. Brian Jeffrey Berenshausen, Communication Studies, being hooded by Lawrence Grossberg. Kristen Kim Sellers, Neurobiology, being hooded by Flavio Froley. Jacinth L. Mitchell, Genetics and Molecular Biology, being hooded by Sean Ahmed. Diana Isabel Garcia, Romance Studies, being hooded by Ellen Welch. Philip Clark Hollingsworth, Romance Studies, being hooded by Juan Carlos Gonzalez Espitilla. Antonio Balson, Romance Studies, being hooded by Irene Gomez Castellano. Maria Cristina Feli, Romance Studies, being hooded by Irene Gomez Castellano. Jin Liu, Romance Studies, being hooded by Irene Gomez Castellano. Emily Joy Clark, Romance Studies, being hooded by Rosa Perelmuter. Ricardo Huaman, Romance Studies, being hooded by Rosa Perelmuter. Malicia Jessica Wright, Nutrition, being hooded by Michelle Mendez. Brian Clement Gibbs, Cell and Developmental Biology, being hooded by Ellen Weiss. Raquel Zanata Coutinho, Sociology, being hooded by Lisa D. Pierce. Karen Raquel Gherkin, Sociology, being hooded by Kathleen Mullen Harris. Karen Phelan Kozlowski, Sociology, being hooded by Carolyn Tyson. Allison Matthews, Sociology, being hooded by Carolyn Tyson. Eric J. Daza, Biostatistics, being hooded by Michael Hudgens. Tatsani Saladyanyan, Oral Biology, being hooded by Jennifer Webster, Syracuse. Brittany Pauline Sizik, Oral Biology, being hooded by Andrea Knackley. Lee Wade Hudson, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Donald Lyle. Jeffrey John Olney, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Todd Thiel. Dominic Hayden Seri, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Todd Thiel. Jennifer G. Stevenson, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Linda Dykstra. Rebecca Louise Stevens, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Peter A. Ornstein. Jason Allen Freeman, Sociology, being hooded by Ann Hastings. Michael John Sasser, Educational Leadership, being hooded by Fenwick English. Gwen DeLon Ralhack, Educational Leadership, being hooded by Dana N. Thompson Dorsey. Jamie Hunter, Health Behavior, being hooded by Edwin Fisher. Meredith L. Eastman, Health Behavior, being hooded by Vanjie Foshi. Christine Agnew Bruni, Health Behavior, being hooded by Vanjie Fushi. Melissa Jean Cox, Health Behavior, being hooded by Susan Enid. Justin Black, Biochemistry and Biophysics, being hooded by Leslie Parisi. Mabel D. Gergen, Geography, being hooded by Sarah H. Smith. Michael Daniel Dimple, Geography, being hooded by Sarah Smith. Harrison B. Zeff, Environmental Sciences and Engineering, being hooded by Greg Chiraklis. Chi Mo, Computer Science, being hooded by Dinesh Manoka. Soo-Young Kim, Computer Science, being hooded by Dinesh Manoka and Ming Lin. David Carroll Lax, Mathematics, being hooded by Robert A. Proctor. Kimberly Brooke Tompkins Nazami, Health Behavior, being hooded by Deborah Tate. Allison E. Myers, Health Behavior, being hooded by Leslie A. Lytle. Angela Megan Stover, Health Behavior, being hooded by Christine Rinnie. Emmy Stemke, English, being hooded by Todd Taylor. Deborah Randolph, Education, being hooded by Madeline R. Gourmand. Jason Bryce Kaufman, History, being hooded by Cynthia Radding. Carolyn Huang, Public Policy, being hooded by Pete Andrews. Evan Eugene Johnson, Public Policy, being hooded by Pete Andrews. Tomasz Czarnuzowicz, Biomedical Engineering, being hooded by Katerina Galippi. Titian Williams, Biochemistry and Biophysics, being hooded by Charles Carter, Jr. Patrick Earl Lackey, Biochemistry and Biophysics, being hooded by Bill Marslow. Ryan Matthew Horn, History, being hooded by Richard Talbert. Brooke M. Bauer, History, being hooded by Kathleen Duvall. Elizabeth Nicole Ellis, History, being hooded by Kathleen Duvall. Joey Ann Fink, History, being hooded by Jacqueline Dowd Hall. Gary David Guadagnolo, History, being hooded by Don Raleigh. Stephen Badalian Rigg, History, being hooded by Louise McReynolds. Amanda Brickle Bellows, History, being hooded by W. Fitzhugh Brundage and Louise McReynolds. Keol Veronique Galbraith, Nursing, being hooded by Coretta Jenneret. Stephanie Monique Devane Johnson, Nursing, being hooded by Cheryl Woods Giscombe. Thomas Rodney Schaefer, Physics and Astronomy, being hooded by Jonathan Engel. Daniel Wynn Serber, Genetics and Molecular Biology, being hooded by Terry Magnuson. Una Connie Kim, Public Policy, being hooded by Jeremy Moulton. Daniel Pieter Smith, Public Policy, being hooded by Jeremy Moulton. Kelly Nicole Kilburn, Public Policy, being hooded by Jeremy Moulton. Lisa Patterson Spees, Public Policy, being hooded by Jeremy Moulton. Valerie Strange Fox, Occupational Science, being hooded by Antoine Balliard. Gregory Thomas Mollet, History, being hooded by Jay Smith. Christina Bowen Carroll, History, being hooded by Lloyd Kramer. Andal Grace Naranyan, History, being hooded by Lloyd Kramer. Courtney Amy Short, History, being hooded by W. Miles Fletcher. Brittany Rose Lehman, History, being hooded by Conrad Jarausch. Julia Elizabeth Alt, History, being hooded by Conrad Jarausch. Scott Krause, History, being hooded by Conrad Jarausch. Derek John Holmgren, History, being hooded by Conrad Jarausch. Andrew William Roberts, Pharmaceutical Sciences, being hooded by Joel Farley. Akanyemi Oni Orisan, Pharmaceutical Sciences, being hooded by Craig Lee. Shannon Kathleen Jones, Bioinformatics and Computational Biology, being hooded by Laura Miller. Donovan Augustus Anderson, City and Regional Planning, being hooded by Mai Tai Nguyen. Chinello Christine Okigbo, Maternal and Child Health, being hooded by Eileen S. Spieser. Shane Mohammed Khan, Maternal and Child Health, being hooded by Eileen Spieser. Star A. Mitchell, Nursing, being hooded by Linda Bieber. Holly Lee Way, Nursing, being hooded by Cecilia Grasigno. Philip Allen Wages, Toxicology, being hooded by James M. Samet. Dicinia Britannica Salal Miller, Toxicology, being hooded by Ermila Codavanti. Nicole Ann Karhanowitz, Toxicology, being hooded by Mehdi Hazari. Amanda Marie Udi, Epidemiology, being hooded by Megan Close. Robert Charles Bruce, Chemistry, being hooded by Wei Yu. Robert Allen Aldrich, Biology, being hooded by Keith Sockman. Brian Spence Evans, Ecology, being hooded by Alan Hurlbert. Lin Zhao, Cell and Molecular Physiology, being hooded by Andrew Dudley. James Michael Dunleavy, Cell and Molecular Physiology, being hooded by Andrew C. Dudley. Bingying Zhao, Pharmacology, being hooded by Adrian D. Cox. Leanna Ray Gentry, Pharmacology, being hooded by Channing Durr. Po Hung Shi, Pharmaceutical Sciences, being hooded by Jian Lu. Hao Chai, Pharmaceutical Sciences, being hooded by Dhiren Thacker. Janice E. Hansen, German Studies, being hooded by Ruth von Bernuth. Annegret Aim, German Studies, being hooded by Ruth von Bernuth. Joseph Strabhauer, German Studies, being hooded by Ruth von Bernuth. Stefan Kaup, German Studies, being hooded by Ruth von Bernuth. Rory Earl Bradley, German Studies, being hooded by Jonathan Hess. Lee May Ran, Ecology, being hooded by Larry Band. Ashley Aisha Edwards, Information and Library Science, being hooded by Diane Kelly. Casey Held Rawson, Information and Library Science, being hooded by Sandra Hughes Hassel. Regina Irene Rutledge, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Marissa Elena Domino. Angela Odiachi, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Ned Brooks. Sunhee Rim, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Stephanie Wheeler. Emily Meredith Gillen, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Kristen Hasmiller-Lisch. Devin Carnes-Check, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Stacy Dusetzina. Sarah Elizabeth Lewis, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Morris Weinberger. Jacqueline Marjorie Burgett, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Morris Weinberger. Rachel Margaret Makta, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Morris Weinberger. Chai-Ling Liu, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Justin G. Trogdon. Kristen Nicole Garrett, Political Science, being hooded by Thomas M. Carsey. John Peter Lapie, Political Science, being hooded by Thomas Carsey. Joshua M. Jansa, Political Science, being hooded by Thomas Carsey and Virginia Gray. Amanda Grigg, Political Science, being hooded by Susan Bickford. Elizabeth Menenga, Political Science, being hooded by Stephen Gent. Gregory Wolfe, Political Science, being hooded by James Stimson. Zara Mohammed Shoaib Ayubi, Religious Studies, being hooded by Carl Ernst. Stacy Ann Sterling, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Ashley Skinner. Amy Rankin Williams, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Ashley Skinner. Shannon Stokely, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Ashley Skinner. Angelo Mojica, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Ashley Skinner. Christopher Austin Jones, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Pam Silberman. Eduardo Benjamin Puertas, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Pam Silberman. Deus Bazira Mubanjizi, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Pam Silberman. Koyijo Abiodun Oyurindi, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Pam Silberman. Ann Wojtak, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Thomas Ricketts. Matthew James Smola, Chemistry, being hooded by Kevin Weeks. Sandra Elizabeth Spencer, Chemistry, being hooded by Gary Glish. Heather Sewell, Educational Leadership, being hooded by Catherine Marshall. Ariel R. Tickner Wagner, Education, being hooded by Laura Cohen Vogel. Nicholas James Wagner, Psychology and Neuroscience, being hooded by Roger Mills Kuntz. Shenandoah Leah Nuishma, Religious Studies, being hooded by Randall Stiers. Samuel Joseph Kessler, Religious Studies, being hooded by Randall Stiers. Amy Weissman, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Margaret Bentley. Jacqueline Al McPherson, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by John Paul. Diana Nicole DeRiggi, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Bruce Freed. Louise Tatini Macau, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Antonia Bennett. Heather K. Altman, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Sandra Green. Claire Carlson Neal, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Sandra Green. Karine Dubé, Health Policy and Management, being hooded by Sandra B. Green. Kenneth Reddix, Economics, being hooded by Brian McManus. Samuel Flanders, Economics, being hooded by Helen Tauken. Matthew Taylor Horn, Economics, being hooded by Helen Tauken. Yi Lu, Economics, being hooded by Helen Tauken. Christian Manuel Pozo, Economics, being hooded by David Gilkey. Olga Belskaya, Economics, being hooded by Clara Peter. Roberto M. Gonzalez, Economics, being hooded by Clara Peter. Pragya Singh, Economics, being hooded by Donna Gillespie. Theodore James Mansfield, Environmental Sciences and Engineering, being hooded by Jacqueline McDonald Gibson. Eric Forseth, Physics and Astronomy, being hooded by Charles Evans. Yang Sun, Physics and Astronomy, being hooded by Charles Evans. Mariko F. Weber, Neurobiology, being hooded by Arsenio Belger. Erica Lynn Weiberg, Classics, being hooded by William H. Race. Kelly Wentland, Business Administration, being hooded by Ed Maydew. Grace Ann Chappell, Environmental Sciences and Engineering, being hooded by Ivan Rusin. Tamara Suzanne Roman, Genetics and Molecular Biology, being hooded by Karen Mulkey. Martin Lewis Bukovich, Bioinformatics and Computational Biology, being hooded by Karen Mulkey. Matthew Charles Weiser, Bioinformatics and Computational Biology, being hooded by Terrence Fury. Jonathan Crocker, Environmental Sciences and Engineering, being hooded by Jamie Bartram. Idema Ojomo, Environmental Sciences and Engineering, being hooded by Jamie Bartram. All right. Let's say congratulations to these new graduates. Now I would like to acknowledge the special bond that's formed between students and faculty at the graduate level. The relationship between faculty advisor and graduate student is both professional and very personal. A big part of our students' success, and I'm sure they'd agree, is due to their faculty mentors. The faculty at Carolina take their roles as mentors very seriously, and it's this mentoring role that makes today's ceremony so very special. Exceptional faculty mentors provide a supportive environment that brings forth the very best in the students they mentor. They encourage graduate students to establish their own record of scholarly activity. They achieve a successful record of graduate degree completion among the students they have mentored. To honor this exceptional level of faculty commitment, the Graduate School presents an annual Faculty Award for Excellence in Doctoral Mentoring. The number of nominations we receive for this award each year from our doctoral students and the content of those nominations is an affirmation of our faculty's dedication to graduate education and to their graduate students. There's no way I can adequately express my appreciation to the faculty who mentor our graduate students. So I will simply say thank you for all you do for graduate education on this campus. Your dedication to our students and to the academic disciplines that you represent is absolutely remarkable. Please join me in thanking our graduate mentors. The recipient of this year's Faculty Award for Excellence in Doctoral Mentoring is Dr. Donald Raleigh. Don, will you please come forward while I say a few words? As Dr. Raleigh makes his way to the stage, he's the J. Richard Judson Distinguished Professor of History and a renowned scholar within Russian history. He's published extensively and presented his research throughout our state, nationally, and internationally. One of his books, Soviet Baby Boomers, made the 2013 shortlist for the Pushkin House Russian Book Prize, an honor recognizing the best nonfiction work about Russia. He's taken his role as mentor just as seriously. One of the doctoral students he has mentored wrote the following: I attribute my own decision to enroll at UNC to Don. His name came up repeatedly when I considered potential advisors, not just as one of the top scholars in the field of Russian history, but also as an effective and transformative mentor. The nomination letter also says, with 18 books and edited volumes, as well as over 45 articles to his name, Don leads by example in showing his students what it means to be a productive and hardworking historian. Another doctoral student mentored by Dr. Raleigh, and who is now a tenure-track professor, emphasized the impact of Dr. Raleigh's attention to collaboration. The letter says, Don's attitude toward mentoring has resulted in a real community of scholars, recognized and respected by our field of Russian history. He creates a cooperative atmosphere among his students, encouraging them to share knowledge, evaluate one another's work, and assist one another in the research field. As these two nomination letters demonstrate, an outstanding mentor gives talented students the confidence and the capabilities they need to create valuable new knowledge and succeed as leaders in their academic fields. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Donald Raleigh on receiving the 2016 Faculty Award for Excellence in Doctoral Mentoring. And now a final charge from the graduate school before you go. Graduates, you've been recognized today for your successful completion of doctoral studies, a process that all of you know takes years of commitment and self-discipline. I ask that you take that commitment to excellence and go out into your community, whether here in North Carolina or across the United States or across the oceans, and make your community a better place for its citizens. Lend your passion and knowledge to your community and watch it grow and prosper. I want to mention that the university-wide commencement ceremony will occur tomorrow at 9 a.m. in Keenan Stadium, and you are all welcome to attend that event.
Congratulations and welcome to the Academy. This is a place that people make a lot of noise, so you can say it as loudly as you'd like. Thank you so much, everyone here, for your participation in the hooding ceremony. It's as wonderful as we would like it to be to have so much participation from all the doctoral degree candidates, your advisors and mentors. Dr. Joye, thank you so much. And all of the family and friends who are in attendance today and the faculty here. We're just so pleased to be with you. This ceremony does signify another start for each of you. I'm sure it also means that your margins were just right. But my charge to you comes from none other than Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever." I'd like to give a special thanks to Evan Feldman, Associate Professor and Director of the Wind Ensemble, and all our wonderful student musicians who came to play for you, and singer Drew Meyer. Thanks, Evan. And we'd also like to thank the incredible Carolina employees who do really put an extra effort in to make this campus shine and this auditorium look so beautiful. So thank you to all of them. Before we close, just a little bit of bookkeeping. We're going to ask, after we sing the alma mater, we'll ask the students and advisors seated on the floor to exit by going up the aisles towards the concourse after the recessional. And I hope you all know what that means. Someone will direct you if you don't. Thank you. Best wishes to all. Now, everyone, please stand for the singing of the alma mater.
Hark the sound of Tar Heel voices ringing clear and true, singing Carolina's praises, shouting in CU. Hail to the brightest star of all, clear its radiant shine. Carolina, priceless gem, receive all praises thine. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred, and when I die, I'm a Tar Heel dead. So it's rah-rah, Carolina, lina, rah-rah, Carolina, lina, rah-rah, Carolina, lina, rah-rah-rah.